episode 4 of Bad versus Wild. I want y'all to let me know if y'all want me to do these every single episode, unless it's something of substance, because some of these can get a little boring. This was one of the ones that was kind of boring. Like, it's proof that this right here proved it, that a lot of pretty people on the show does not make a show entertaining, because there's a lot of pretty people on this episode, but the episode was kind of lackluster. It wasn't bad per se, because at least they finished everything. They implemented the rules. Things went smoothly, but it was kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie to you. But let me know what y'all think. Thumbs up the video, drop the comments down below. Subscribe if you are new here. Thank y'all who have subscribed. Thank y'all for that video. I didn't think the video would even get 12,000 views, but it did. If this one does the same, great. But again, thank y'all for clicking on the video if you do. But if you do click on it, please thumbs up the video. Please drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. And most importantly, please subscribe. And I'll be back later on tonight because Summer House Martha's Vineyard on Bravo. I will be doing that this season. That's going to be a good show. It is a good show. I saw season 1. And the trailer for season 2 looks good. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. So stay tuned for that. Click the post notifications and let's go. All right. So we got Tatted Sky, her team, which is the BBL team, versus Brittany Renner's natural team. So it's the BBLs versus the naturals. Sky's team, we got Marissa, NLE Chopper's baby mama. You got DJ Sky, the Double Dose twins, and Janelle from Bad Girls Club. Then you got Brittany's team, which is LexieJoh, which is Brittany's sister, apparently. You got Biggie from Baddies East, Baddies West, and then you got Scotty from Baddies. You got Soulja Girl and Smallz from One More Chance Season 2. So the teams arrived. Courtney ended up having a funny moment where she was saying that Biggie and her are alike. They both like to hide their fupas in their pants because Biggie came in there with like a 2-piece on and had her stomach under her pants, as you all know. But backstage, the teams were getting ready. Sky's team seems to be lit. Brittany's team seems to be cool with each other. They all have good vibes, which is good for them, and it's good to watch. It's refreshing to watch, I guess. When I say it's boring, it was boring to watch, but it was refreshing to watch the teams at least get along and get to the stage, get things done, which could be boring. It ended up being boring, but I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad. But we got the stats. Sky's versus Brittany's. Sky has 4.6 million Instagram followers to Brittany's 4.7. Sky's got a BBL. Brittany's never had one. Brittany has 1+ athletic friends, which I'm assuming they're talking about her baby daddy, PJ Washington. She's had one Charleston White lap dance. I don't know what that is. Sky don't have none of that. Sky's 85% tatted, and Brittany is 5%. Sky's went to jail one time, and Brittany has not. So they get to the stage. LJ Plumber is out here introducing his brother, which I don't know why we need to have that in every single episode. We know you produce the show. We know this is your show. We know this is your network. We don't need to see you come out here every single time. I would cut that and just skip straight to Nick introducing the performers. Because that's what happens. They bring the shrimp out there to literally introduce Nick, to introduce Blueface, who got out there and performed a terrible, terrible performance. Like, terrible. And I didn't know he rapped on this. I didn't know he rapped on the remix. I didn't know they had a remix to Soak City. But apparently he's on the remix. He spent half the song pretty much doing the part that was not his. So I was like, I had no idea. I'm like, why is he doing this? And then I was looking through Apple Music to see if he had a remix. And of course he did, which I found it interesting that they chose to do that for his intro song. Because he could have chose another song, but I guess. But Nick ends up bringing him out. Nick then introduces Courtney, who introduces Big Ant, the same old thing that we already seen the past couple episodes. The teams come out. Sky's team comes out first, and she introduces her girls and didn't know half the girls' names. So she's like, and then Janelle's like, Janelle from Bad Girls Club. Like, I was like, Sky is high. She's a higher drunk, and I could tell right then and there that she was not going to be cohesive the entire episode. But Brittany's team comes out. They come out twerking, screaming at their homegrown asses. Like, they lit. They excited. Her team, I wouldn't say her team is more lively, but it is a little bit more lively. I feel like with Sky's team, I feel like Marissa and Janelle were the lively part of that team. The Double Dose twins were just there for me, honestly, but whatever. Brittany ends up having her team out there, and they end up introducing themselves. They took it upon themselves to do it Whereas Sky's team, you could tell they were expecting her to introduce them, but whenever they had to introduce themselves, they didn't feel comfortable doing it. But whatever. The crowd, I gotta mention that the crowd was dead the entire episode, the entire filming of it, like from the beginning to the end, they were dead. So I was like, that's what made this episode even more boring. Because if the crowd's not hype, the girls aren't really going to be even more hype, because the crowd, you kind of feed off the crowd with these type of game shows. And the fact that the crowd was not hyped, that hopefully Zeus took note. It's time to switch something up. Like get to the drawing board, start figuring it out, because the games are repetitive. There's a couple of the same games that have been played before, but the teams that ended up getting up hugging each other. So I'm like, okay, we ain't gonna have these girls out here fighting right now. So that's good. That's a change of pace. But the first game was Shake Something, which y'all know is the red light, green light twerk game. I'm going to skim through this fast. Lexie, which is Brittany's sister, she was the first one out. One of the Double Dose twins was next out because her ass didn't stop moving. Sky was next out. Soulja Girl was next out. Scotty was next out. Biggie was next. DJ Sky, Double Dose twins was out. So now at this point, it's two naturals versus two BBLs. The two naturals is Brittany and Smallz versus Janelle and Marissa. Smallz was out. Brittany, Janelle, and Marissa, they going at it for a couple rounds to the point where the teams start trying to cheat. Brittany's team wants Janelle out, and Sky wants Brittany out. And Sky ended up throwing a pillow and it ended up hitting Brittany. And you could tell she went over there and apologized because she didn't want to have no issue with Brittany. Because you could tell she didn't mean to throw it and hit her. At least it seemed like that to me. But she went over there, apologized to Brittany. Brittany seemed to not take it too seriously, even though over her face it looked like she was ready to be. She looked like she was hot. But Janelle got out next because her ass was moving too much. And then it comes down to Marissa versus Brittany. And they have a twerk off. The beat starts speeding up. This round, there was one, I think they won a couple rounds, but the round where I thought they should have ended it was when because Brittany was still moving. Marissa was stopped. I was like, Marissa won. Of course, they ran another round because, of course, you can't have the team leader versus the other teammates, not the other team leader. I guess if it was Sky versus Brittany, it might have been a little different of a situation, but I feel like they couldn't have Marissa win. I feel like that was producers infiltrating because Marissa won. If you ask me, Marissa won. But they won another round. Brittany ended up winning because Marissa ended up almost falling over. So Brittany won, and that's what happened. So Team Wild got 1 point to Bad's 0. The second game is Pass the D, which is Ask Addition. So Courtney introduces the rules. They have 60 seconds to pass as many cucumbers from one teammate to the other without using their hands. And if they drop one that's out of play, they got to get another cucumber and continue to do it again. And they have to pass it from mouth to butt and butt to mouth in each different round. So the BBL team goes up first. Sky was over there with the other team. They had to get her first. And I'm like, she's so drunk and so high, she can't even focus. Like, they had to bring her over there. So they finally got her over there and they began. They start passing the cucumbers around. They got 2 completed within the 60 seconds. The natural team goes up first. They were a lot more cohesive than the first team. They got the first one completed, and then they dropped the second one. They got the third one through just about before 60 seconds ended, and Sky goes over there and snatches it right before they get to Biggie, because Biggie was the last one. Snatched it right before they got to Biggie and chucked that shit. So it was 2-2. That was funny. But she cheated, and they ended up, Nick asked, like, okay, so what should we do? Like, should we give them a point? Because it's 2-2. So who wins? Do they go? I would have said do another round. That's what I would have did. But they ended up giving both teams the points because it was 2-2. So now it's 2-1, Team Natural winning. The third game they play is musical chairs. You already know what that is. It's pretty self-explanatory. But they started off with 6 chairs, and then they ended up beginning, which I was glad they started off with 6 chairs. Start doing that. Get people out a lot quicker. But Brittany, Sky, Scotty, and the Double Dose twins were out first. DJ Sky was next out. Smallz is walking around her cheek. She would have pissed me off if I was playing the game. Because she's hovering and like kind of stalling over certain chairs as everybody else is going. And Nick and Courtney is on the mic saying, keep moving. And she's the only one that's not really walking around. So she's cheating. So it gets to a point where they finally stopped it. And it came down between her and Marissa. And Marissa was standing there looking at her like she's ready to go over there and sock her. And I was like, in that moment, I was like, you need to get Marissa on the show. Get Marissa on Baddies. I said get Marissa on Baddies. I would say get Smallz on Baddies just because of the way she was acting on this. Because she is messy. And she was entertaining on One More Chance season 2. There's a lot of them girls she could pull from there that would fit good on Baddies. But Marissa got out. Janelle versus Soulja Girl and Smallz and Lexie. So it's Janelle the only team BBL versus the rest of the naturals. Smallz is still cheating. Janelle ends up getting out because Lexie ends up pulling the chair from under her and she fell straight on that ground. But the wild team wins. It's 3 versus 1. They have a bonus round. And he said the bonus round is because they've been talking shit about each other online about whose body is better. I'm like, have they? Like, okay. But Sky and Brittany come face to face. He asked them, why do natural bodies look better than enhanced bodies? And Brittany says everybody's entitled to do what they want with their body. That I agree with. Some people don't need it, but hey, it's your body. You do what you want with it. Sky says that enhanced bodies look better. And I'm like, disagree fully. But Nick asked Biggie the same question. And Biggie says, when you're natural, you can eat your ass off and it won't go to every place when they lose weight. And she said, when the BBLs lose weight, it goes in different angles. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Because when you lose weight with a natural body, I ain't gonna say it ain't gonna go to everywhere, but if you gain weight, that should have been she should have said that. Because if you gain weight with a BBL, it's gonna look a lot worse, I think. Because it's gonna start to be disproportionate. Like when you get the work done and you get off the table and you start to get the thing together, that's why you gotta go in there and you gotta continue to maintain it in the gym. And if you don't and you continue to eat, it's gonna look disproportionate. Your legs are not gonna match. It's just not gonna look right. But Janelle says the same bitches Sky said that you lose it everywhere. She's talking about something like y'all lose weight everywhere. And Biggie said the first place that the BBLs lose it is in their hips. That is true. Janelle says the same bitches that be talking shit about the BBLs are the same hoes that be in her DMs asking who her doctor is. Smallz ends up saying that natural bodies PUSSY is better. Marissa then gets up and says she still get niggas and hers still works. Like she ain't had no issues. And them two kind of had like a little back and forth. It's like they had a little bit of animosity from the musical chairs and this. They was low-key up in each other's face. Get them on Baddies. That's all I'm gonna say. Get them on Baddies. And she is a baddie. Marissa is a baddie. Like, she's literally a baby mama to one of the, I don't say top rappers, but one of the most known rappers right now. And she is a baddie. Like, look at her. And Smallz is a baddie too, and she's messy. Like, she's entertaining to watch. She will start drama. But they then try to get Scotty's punk ass to get up there and say something. And she says she ain't good at roasting people, which we know that's true. But she does get up there and say something that is true. She says the best thing about a natural body is that it all matches. Like, everything looks right. And that's true, obviously, because that's the way it naturally is. But the Double Dose twins said it looked better. And when you hit it from the back, it looks better. Scotty agrees that it does look better when you hit it from the back, whatever. But Biggie says that y'all fly out and spend all that money, but your man's still leaving with Biggie. And Soulja Girl says that it's the same bitches that get BBLs, stating that they going into the gym and working hard for it, which is what they should be doing. Honestly, if you get a BBL, you got to stay in that gym. If you don't, it's not going to look right. You're going to lose everything that you went in there to do. And that's why I say with Rolly, how she's promoting, like, I'm going to get every bit of surgery that I need to get the way I want to look. And then I'm going to keep going back. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat what I want. Yeah, you're going to eat what you want. You're going to look exactly the way you used to and probably look worse because you had all that work. But they finished that. Biggie's asking the crowd, who won? And the crowd is dead. When I tell you, I didn't hear nobody say anything audibly about which team won. They ended up giving it to the Wild Side, obviously, because they won more games, 1-4. Biggie ends up going backstage to address her team, which I was happy to see that they at least got the game completed. They were able to at least be cordial on the stage. And then if they have their issues, address that after. And that's what happened. Biggie ends up going up to Smallz saying, like, your sister Biggie, which is Biggie from One More. It's crazy when you think about it, because she was, I don't know if Biggie was Biggie before she was on Baddies, or at least known as that before she was on Baddies. I didn't know of Biggie until Baddies, so I can't really speak for that. But to me, the Biggie that I knew before, the Biggie that I knew first on One More Chance was on Zeus was the one from One More Chance. So Biggie's kind of, you can tell that's where their beef started. at least essentially. I didn't know anything about it, but just watching this, that's what I could tell. The Biggie was saying, like, if Smallz wanted to fight her because of her sister over a year old post, which apparently Biggie was talking shit about Biggie, the One More Chance Biggie, online a year ago, and said if you wanted to fight, we can fight. And Biggie was saying, Smallz said that she don't play about her sister, and that Biggie don't want to smoke with her. And Biggie said, well, who? Like, she looked like, well, who do I not want to smoke with? And Smallz said, me. And Biggie looked at her like, come on, man. Come on, run it. And that's exactly what happened. Smallz ran up, stiff arm Biggie. Biggie still turning her head. Nothing really happened. Maria Smallz just bum rushed her. That was it. She got on top of Biggie, and security ended up pouncing on top of him, trying to break it up. Biggie sitting on the floor talking shit, taking her chain off to say, Biggie saying, like, if your sister wanted, she can have it. I can go get me another one, which is, if you really got it like that, that should be the type of energy you want. I don't really need this one because I can go get another one. It's nothing to me. If she wants it that bad, she can have it. But that's the type of energy that Biggie was giving. Smallz was sitting there throwing shit at her. Yodeler and Biggie come backstage. Biggie, One More Chance, Biggie. She then says, if you're trying to run it, let's run it. Like, if you got an issue and you put your hands on my sister, we're going to have an issue. And Biggie said, well, she put her hands on me first. And as they doing all that, Biggie is saying, Biggie, One More Chance, Biggie is saying that she don't have a voice or whatever. And Smallz ends up spitting on Biggie. And I'm like, that's just nasty. That's nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Even though I say all the time I would spit on somebody, I would only spit on you if I feel like you disrespected me so much to the point where I don't respect you anymore. I'm saying I would spit on somebody, but I probably wouldn't. I'm just keeping it real with you. But it's nasty. Like, bodily fluids, that's disgusting. But Blueface comes back out, and that's the end of it because I did not watch that last performance. So that's the end of the episode. Not much really happened. If y'all watch the video, I appreciate y'all. If you thumbs up the video, I appreciate you even more. And if you subscribe, I appreciate you even more. But like I said, turn the post notifications on. Drop comments down below about what y'all thought about this. Let me know if y'all want me to continue to do the ones that are like this one, not much happening, or do you want me to just cover the big ones? But like I said, it's Summer House Martha's Vineyard. If y'all not watching it, start watching it because I'm going to review it. If you do watch it, come back here later on tonight. I'm going to drop it. But yeah, that's it. Thank y'all, and I will see y'all next time. Peace.